Dr. Clark. We call for the unity and the redemption of the African world. Salute the Honorable Marcus Garvey. We are not ready to listen then. They might not have been ready then. I wonder whether we are ready. Ain't no doubt about it. To listen. We ready, baby. No. Let's go. Yeah. Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high. Black feet to the sky, with the fly, it's the flag fly high. Come on. Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high. RPGs on the rise, all eyes are recognize a flag fly high. Hold it high, let it fly. Record colors forever, probably would never die. On my 90, the throne ready, let's take a ride. X-Walk, fix me and don't choose a side. This is the flag for the warriors. Some travel yet still bad glory just black power represents us. You either rolling with Africa or against us. Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high. Black kiss to the sky with the fly, it's the flag fly high. Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high. RPGs on the rise, all eyes to recognize the flag fly high. The red is for the blood. I got the best stock, the rest got good. The black is for the guys melanated and elevated, holding the main charge. The green is for the cradle. Africa, everything first, the earth's navel. This excellency, put it together as a symbol of liberation. That's how we get the letters RBG. Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high. Black kiss to the sky with the fly, it's the flag fly high. Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high. RPGs on the rise, all eyes are recognize the flag fly high. This fly minus is 99. People on it have no time. I will drag on my design. We won't ready. Hard line, ain't no change for that red flag. Triple stage of that black bag. Revolution in my veins. If we free, I won't change. And you count on that, got Africans. Celebrate the victories and the challenges. This deeper than social media statuses. This lifestyle, relation building practices. Yeah. Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high. Black kiss to the sky with the side to side. It's the flag fly high. Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high. RPGs on the rise, all eyes to recognize. Flag fly high. That red, black, green, RBG about that red, black, green, that RBG about that red, that black, that green, RBG about that red, black, green, that RBG, baby, RBG, baby. Fly high, flag fly high. Shout out to all my RPGs worldwide. Doing this thing garbage style. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Flag fly high, flag fly high. Come on. Flag fly.
Hotep family, this is your RBG brother, Guy Nollywood Jr. You know, every time when I come on, I gotta pump myself up by playing that song, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You gotta wave that flag, you know what I mean? So, as you can see, today's topic is when will you learn? You know, and I just see the reason why I came up with that topic because I just see a lot of coonery going around on social media, a lot of justification, a lot of double talking, a lot of flip flopping, and I had to, you know, address that. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to like have a whole new crew. I want to have a whole new crew. Of course, I got my brother Bakari on board. Trying to get a couple of sisters. I'm talking to got my girl Courtney on board. So I'm just trying to clean house and start fresh and really get down to business and really get the core of things. So because I want to be around people or associate people who's serious, that don't want, that really want to see change. We can have good conversations, and just trying to get things in place. I'm tired of seeing, I see a lot of double talking. I see a lot of flip flopping. A lot of people are not a man of their word. They're not a woman of their word. And I'm going to address that in this program, because I've seen it with people that I know, and I've seen it with people that I don't know. A lot of, all this embracing the enemy and all this other stuff. I'm not with all that. So I want to, that's my, when are we going to learn? When are we going to wake up and learn? So I'm going to show you things. I'm going to show you a couple of videos, a screen share, and show you my take on it, because I'm just like, do some of our people really want freedom, or they want to be stuck in the slavery again? So that's the question. Do you really want to be free, or do you want to be? Are you comfortable in slavery? And then, but just when you just want to complain, and because if you claim that you're an American, then you can't complain. You can't complain about what's going on or whatever. You're an American. So I just see a lot of self-hate going around and stuff like that. So I'm going to show you, address a couple of things that bothered me coming from these I don't know what you might call them, colonizers or people or terrorists or people or the enemy or whatever you want to call them. I'm going to address a couple of things. What I'm about to show you. Well, let me start with this one. Let me screen share this one right now. Let me screen share this. Let me screen share. Hope I have it here. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, I know I do. Where is it? Oh, shoot, I don't have it. Hold up. I'm bugging. I want to show you something. Let me just get back. Let me just get this thing right back on here. Not sure what I'm doing here. This thing's acting up on me. There we go. I want to show you this video where let's see if I can blow this up. I'm gonna share it. This brother is really cool. I'm subscribed to this brother, and of course, my brother, he's talking. I guess this white guy just came on his live feed because he was concerned of these things that our brother was saying. And he was trying to use technology once again to be so he can be comfortable into being, I guess, trying to get him to be comfortable of I guess being this a slave dude. So let me screen share this real quick. Let's see. Oh no. We'll go back here real quick. There we go. Okay. Okay. Now this is my brother Hassan, and I'm going to show you. Let's just get a load. I'm going to show you, and just listen. Just listen to this conversation, because I'm going to chop it up. I'm going to chop it up because this kind of bothered me a little bit.
But I still suffer from the effects of slavery. I wasn't a slave. My ancestors were, but I still suffer from the effects of slavery.
That you have to explain it. That's something I still today don't understand. And you know, I'm going to say something rude, and it's not rude, but try to understand what I want to do. Imagine.
And that's another thing I don't like. I don't understand about how white folks, for some apparent reason, they still don't understand. They still don't get it. They see what's going on. I know they watch the media, and they have this attitude where they're trying to understand why we are crying or why we are complaining. They don't understand this whole racism thing, and they watch the news like, are you living on a rock? Don't you you don't understand oppression? You know, have you studied have you studied slavery that went on in North America and in South America and Central America? Have you done your homework? Now, I think this guy's Jewish. I think this white guy's Jewish. But it's funny with him when it comes down to his oppression. When they complain and stuff like that, it's called the remembrance, right? And no one tells them, oh, you should get over it, even though they got reparations, even though they control Israel, you know, they pretty much control United States. They really do. They really, if you know, if they don't work, or the city stops. They got when it comes down to that money, trust me, if they stop working, the city stops. So they got power. These guys got power. But when it comes down to our remembrance, they don't understand that. They don't get it. You know, we have to forget about, for some reason, he as you can see, he don't understand our pain and suffering. Let me continue this.
Living in the USA, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're living in the United States, huh?
Yes.
Yes, okay. I think you have a good job.
Now he's saying that because we live in the United States, you know, we should not complain. He said, you live in the United States, right? You have a good job, right? That's not having a good job, having an education that we have to still got to pay for, is not going to get rid of racism. It's not going to liberate us. You know, it's not going to stop the invasion. It's not going to stop redlining. It's not going to stop none of that stuff. So what does education and having a good job got to do with anything? I'm confused.
It's decent.
You went to school, you went to university, you got the possibility to go to school and university, right? Imagine slavery. It happened.
Now, I gotta stop it right there. He should have known that the majority of these universities was built on slave money. It was built on slave money. Oxford, NYU, Harvard, all that, if you go down the history, was built on slave money. There is no Black Historical College because even Howard University is named by a white man. I think his name is Oliver Howard or something like that. General Oliver Howard or something, if I'm not mistaken. So there is no Black colleges or no Black Historical College. That's false. So we don't even have a college that we can name for ourselves. We don't have our own colleges. But most of those universities came from slave money. Came from the blood and sweat of our ancestors. And we didn't get nothing for it. We still got to pay for our college. America didn't give nothing for free. They never said, you know what? Since your ancestors built this country, well, we're gonna give you free education, free health care. You don't have to pay for nothing. Nope. We still got to pay for, our health care. We got to pay for, if we don't have insurance, you're assed out. You don't have no money for college, you just can't go. Even if you take out loans, guess what? You still got to pay it back. So I don't understand why he throw that out there. And then he's going to make a reference saying that you're better off here than in Africa. And watch how my brother's face expression changed when he said that. Watch.
Excuse me, boss. We cannot change it. That's happened. And it's terrible what happened, but we can't change it. But imagine it wasn't there. Then you were still living in Africa, right? See, you don't understand my point. No. That's the problem. You don't understand my point. If I say that, please don't see it wrong. I said you say, of course it's terrible what happened there. That's the most, I hate everything. You have no idea. I hate violence. I hate that people do something. That's terrible. I just came back from Cabo Verde. Cabo Verde was an island. There were people, slaves. It's terrible. It's
right.
Hated. But on the other way, for everything we have to see a benefit. We say, okay, it happened. But no, because this has happened, you're here in America. I'm an American native.
So slavery was a benefit to my people because if it wasn't for slavery, I'd still be in Africa.
You see, you think it's wrong. I knew he was
no, but I'm asking you a question. And so you said that I have the opportunity to go to school to further my education because slavery took place.
No, but the brother was right. That's what he was trying to say. But see, the thing is you got to understand about white folks that, when they say things like that, even though they saying that, oh, well, I'm not trying to be racist or I'm not trying to be a bigot, but yes, you are. That what you did, what you said, and he tried to clean it up. Oh, that's not what I'm trying to say. You're taking it the wrong way, but that's exactly what he said. Why would you throw in Africa? Why would you even mention Africa? You just can't. Matter of fact, black folks were better off in Africa because we had an education system. We already had a system that was created and was built only for us. We had our own system. You don't think African people, black folks in Africa don't go to school? Don't learn skills and stuff like that? We was better off in Africa. We didn't get into all this unnatural behavior that we're doing now. If you notice, all this unnaturalness, we adopted from these people. We adopted from these people. And again, he just don't get it. He tried to clean it up. And he tried to, I don't know what he's trying to do, persuade my brother? I don't know.
It's just like you say, I have the benefit because Leopold did things in Congo. I didn't ask for it, but it happened, and it just
happened.
And it's the same for you. It happened, and now you have your life like this. We are a part of history. We aren't history. That's the difference. We are a part. We aren't history. The only thing that you can do is don't make the same mistakes today what our parents or grandparents did.
And that's why I don't trust you. Because I don't want to make the same mistakes as my ancestors. They trusted you when you came into Africa.
Yes.
They fed you, they clothed you, they showed you their culture.
Yep.
They built with you. And then you colonized them.
Yep.
And then you enslaved them. So I will not make the same mistakes as my ancestors.
Oh my God. We're 100 years later.
100 years later. Oh my God.
Come on. We're not the same anymore.
And I'm still speaking English. We're still celebrating Christmas. We still believe in a white Jesus. We're still bleaching our skin. Our black women don't want to wear their natural hair. We still want to marry white people.
Mm-hmm.
We're still paying taxes to Belgium and France. What has changed? Please let me know what has changed. That you don't hang us anymore. That you don't cut our balls off anymore. That you don't lynch us anymore. That you don't make us walk around with passes anymore.
Why do you say me?
Because you're a part of that social system.
What I do? You know what? I want to tell you something.
Right. He's a part of the social institution, right? And this is, like I said, this is not an individual thing. They're run like a collective, because guess what? This white guy, he's not going to get rid of his privilege for us. He's not going to say, you know what? I'm going to sacrifice everything, or I'm going to give everything back to y'all that we stole. No, he's not going to do that. He's trying to say, well, it happened. Forget about it. Move on. But you notice they haven't moved on. How many times that you watch, you can go on YouTube right now. You can go on YouTube right now and you can see how many Karens, these white women call Karens, cursing out black people, calling them the N-word, all types of animal names and all this derogatory stuff, waving the Confederate flags and all that. They haven't forgot about it. They say, oh, this is our heritage. Their racism is their heritage. This is what they say. They haven't forgot about it. They haven't really done things to benefit black people here in this country, which I'm going to prove and show. When you ask them about reparations, oh, they go fall out. They don't even want to talk about it. With them, they haven't changed. So why do we have to? Why we have to change? Why we got to be the better person, the bigger person? That doesn't make any sense. No, because he got his. This white guy got his reparations. So damn us. We just going to be just living in this country, just being dependent and everything else. Let's finish this. It's almost over. I'm going to let my brother Bakari speak. Let me finish this real quick.
You know what I'm going to do with that? Yeah. Hassan, I like you. You look like a fine guy. I like your style, and I'm happy you're so. I see it's coming from your heart. I like you. But stop blaming that it's. Look at individuals. Don't look at groups.
What?
It's not all white people. Like not all black people, and not every Muslim is a terrorist. It's the same story. Don't do that, my friend. Please be open. Be open and see me as an individual. And let's say
I can't see you as an individual. I have to see you as a social group for my survival, because guess what? It wasn't an individual white person that enslaved my people. It was a group of white people that enslaved my people. It was not one. It was a group. So I have to look at you as being a part of that group for my survival, for my understanding.
That's a little bit,
and that's it.
That's dangerous, extremely.
Wow. Did you hear this dude? He calling my brother a extremist because what he's witnessing. Wait a minute, you don't call Hitler extremist. Now, my question is this: when Hitler was doing this, he became more powerful because he became an extremist. My brother, he's not trying to be an extremist. He's going by what he's witnessing. He's a victim. He's a victim. So now he's an extremist now because he's speaking up. He's more of aware of what he sees. Now we become the enemy, even though we're the victim. They turning us as the enemy now, and they're become the victim because our people are waking up. And now when you're awakened, now all of a sudden you're the enemy, you're the troublemaker, and they're playing the victim. Oh, don't look at us as a collective. Yes, we have to. Because when our people was getting lynched, you had so-called good white people. They didn't intervene, but they enjoyed the show. They enjoyed the show. Didn't they bought tickets to see a lynching? This is facts. This is history. You know? Oh, well, my people did. Well, I didn't do it. But you sit there and watch. I have, like I said, look at the videos. Go on YouTube, and you'll see, when you see the Karens and all that wilding out, and you'll see a white person walk by, well, they don't intervene. They don't intervene. They looking at, hey, that's their problem. So we have to look at them as a collective. They look at us as a collective. They look at us as a collective. So he's trying to play my brother with a smile. This is what you call a fox. He's not a wolf. This is what you call a fox. This is an example of a fox, how they smile in your face, and they're trying to make it seem that you're the troublemaker. You're the enemy. You're the problem. But he's not looking at like, okay, this brother's hurting. He never said, what can I do to help? I see what's going on, and it bothers me, and I want to use the privilege that I got to make sure you get privilege. I'm going to fight for your reparation. You deserve it. Your people have done so your people built the world. He didn't say that.
Extremism? Sorry, my English. I'm not native.
If I learned how to be an extremist, I learned it from your group of people.
Thank you.
You know, can I say something?
Yes.
You look like a racist.
Oh.
Yeah, you're talking like a racist. Everything but white is wrong. Everything, you people. Please don't do that.
Now I'm gonna ask y'all. I'm gonna ask the audience. Do you think my brother's a racist? Have you ever heard black people owning black people and enslaving them and whipping them and had told them that you got to sit back of the bus, passing Jim Crow laws? Have you ever heard anything that black folks have done all this? Now, by definition, we talking about racism by definition. We talking about racism. This, I told you, how all of a sudden everything that they did, they try to throw it on us. Oh, you know, you sound like a racist. What? You know, it's so funny. It's so funny. I had a guy who when my last job, this white guy, he was Jewish, and it is weird to me how he could talk about when there was I think it was Israel during that time. It was Israel and the Pakistanis or something like that. It was a war, and I believe that Israel had bombed a hospital over in one of those Arab countries. And I told his name is Joe. I said, Joe, how do you feel about that? When you have all these innocent children getting bombed and killed like that, and you see on the videos how the parents is holding their children blown up, bodies are, it's horrible. And I told him, I said, how do you feel about that, Joe? How do you feel about what Israel done? You know what he said? He said, well, that's on them. He said that's what they get because they hide behind their children. And you know what? It became acceptable. I didn't accept that. When you harm children, I don't believe in harming children. I don't. I really don't. I don't like to see that. I really don't. That's just me. It was horrible. And they showed this on TV, but he had no heart. When it came down to his enemy, he had no heart for them. So when it comes down to our enemy, we got to have a heart. We got to have compassion. Now, fuck that. This guy's out of his goddamn mind.
People as individuals. Today, we are the product of what happened in our history.
Okay. I'm going to stop that. Let me stop the screen share, and I'm going to introduce my brother, Brother Bakari. Brother, how you doing? Brother Bakari, introduce yourself.
Peace, Brother Guy in Hollywood Jr., man. I thank you for having me on your show. Peace to the chat. This is your boy, Brother Bakari. I was listening to the video. From what I could understand, I really couldn't understand the white guy a whole lot till you spoke. Some things I couldn't understand. His accent kind of had me.
Right.
But I understood when he called Brother Hassan a racist, which I don't think he's a racist. Even by definition, even though I use racist as something different, I don't look for one person to be a racist. A racist.
Oh, that's me. Oh, I'm sorry.
Look at that.
I'm sorry about that, Brother Bakari. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like the one lady put in the chat, say racism is a team sport. And it is. And we have to stop worrying about if someone is going to call us a racist or not. I like the way Brother Hassan handled that situation, because the only way, because we have been taught the best way to combat their hatred toward us is by loving them. And that really hasn't worked, right? So sometimes the only way to combat what's going on is to learn from the people that's in control and who's doing and who has created this system. So while we're in this system, you have to learn from them, learn some of the things that they have done to us, and use that to our benefit so we can be a part of this system. And what I mean by part of the system, I mean an economic part of the system, right? So we can have political power in this system. So we can have some type of social power in this system, you know. And those are the standards that we're looking. Those are the standards that we're looking for. And if we don't stop letting them shame us, we would never get to where we're supposed to be, because we are easily shamed by them, because we want to be okay by them. We want them to say everything is okay. Well, excuse me. They have to say everything is okay. But we have to look, and we have to make sure everything is okay for us. Stop worrying about what they say. I'm gonna give you an example. For an example, and when stuff like that come up, and what he said to Brother Hassan, a lot of the time we end up arguing and fighting with one another, right? Anything they say and do, we end up arguing and fighting with one another, because we have those of us that are gonna stand with Brother Hassan, and then we have those of us that's gonna stand with him, and so you just supposed to love. Right?
Yep.
The example I'm going to use is with this presidential election and with Joe Biden and his running mate,
Which I'm going to show. Go ahead.
Kamala Harris, right? That is something else that's designed for us to fight about. So since we're not going to all think the same way. So I try to tell people it's okay for us to not think alike. That don't mean I'm wrong, because you don't think like me. But I'm not going to let someone accuse me of something that they have done for thousands and thousands of years to us, to benefit themselves. And so once we figure out the game and we start to use it to benefit, now we done figured it out, we're going to use it to benefit ourselves. And I think that's what he's trying to do with Brother Hassan. You know, he wanted to switch it up. He want us, what they don't want us to be able to learn from the things that they have done. They want us to stay independent. They don't ever want you independent. They want you to stay dependent on them for every damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
And since Brother Hassan is an RBG brother, he don't believe in being dependent on them actually for nothing. They're going to have a problem with that.
Yep.
Like they have a problem with me, like they have a problem with you, like they have a problem with the people in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
That's simple. And that's what they want. But as long as we stand strong, stand 10 toes down on our square, on how we feel, it doesn't matter what they think. I would have been just like Brother Hassan. No, I can't trust you.
Mm-mm.
How can I just say I'm going to trust you as an individual? But I know when something happened, I know what group you're with. And historically, I know what your group have done to my group. And in the times that you didn't succeed, I know what you're always attempting to do
Yep.
to my group. And like you said, they're never going to say anything because they're not going to go against their group for us
Mm-mm.
and what they have.
Yeah, the evidence is there. The evidence is there. You know, when they took over, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to say this, the add on what you're saying. When they talking about the invasions and all this other stuff, like you said, this is an ancient war. This is not no 400-year war. This is an ancient war. This war been going on since the Greeks invaded Africa. I would like for people to do their research and see. And when it's on the walls of ancient Kemet, they letting you know who's the enemy. They see they say this paleface is the enemy. So this is an ancient war. And when they came over, it wasn't just no individual. They came as a collective. They brought their what? Army and all that stuff. So it was a collective. So for him to say you can't judge, you got to judge an individual and not judge a collective, that's bullshit, man. I just want to throw that in there.
Yeah, because if you go back to ancient Kemet, and you can bring the Greek and the Romans, but even before then, look at the mistakes we made by letting our guards down and trusting these people to come in that call themselves Hyksos.
That's true, yeah. That's
What?
facts.
Those were the Middle Eastern white people, right?
Right.
So you let them come in. And after they're there for some years, they're able to build themselves up, build their military up. So now they attack you and they control you for 100 years because you let your guards down and you trusted someone. But fortunately, Pharaoh Thutmose was able to unite Upper Lower Egypt and Nubia, and they were able to defeat them and kick them out. But the point is how they trusted. I trusted that one, and that one brought in what he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So once they're there for a while and they learn this system and they see what's going on, now it's time for us to attack. Now, unfortunately for us, as long as we have been here, we haven't truly learned the system and what's going on. The majority, when I say we, of course, not all. So we have been figuring out a way to be comfortable. If we're comfortable under white people control, comfortable being governed by someone else without ever having to lift a finger to fight back, because they have us, so they have the majority, they have a lot of us, the majority of us, and I think it's starting to break now, in all honesty. I do see some stuff changing, but when we don't want to fight back, because we still see one way as that's what changed everything was we gonna march and we ain't gonna ever fight back, and we gonna let the world see how these people treat us, and they are immoral. But the world know that they were immoral people because the world treated us the same way. We are trying to, and we are still doing it today. We are trying to relate to their moral side. But when those people, when it comes to us, there's no morality and there's no humanity when it comes to us. You can relate to someone conscious to say you're supposed to treat us better. when they don't have that conscience for you. Like you say, the Jew guy told you, oh, well, that's their problem.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to see kids hurt. In all honesty, you may not want to see a kid hurt, but in war, I understand what the Jew guy was saying.
Right.
That is the problem, because that is going to happen. But for some reason, we ain't cut like that.
Mm-hmm.
But even when you go back into the Bible, and when you go back to any of these religious faiths, they always tell you, you kill the babies, feed them,
Right.
because those babies gonna grow up and remember what you did to their parents.
Right. Right. That's what Nat Turner's wife told Nat Turner. She said, "No, you got to get rid of the kids." Because Nat Turner didn't want to touch the baby. He didn't want to touch the kids, but his wife had said, "No, you got do you gonna you got to get them all."
And we are the only ones that want to forget.
Mm-hmm.
We want to forget what has happened and be okay, but you can't forget what happened.
That's right. That's right.
You can't forget. That's why I don't want these monuments torn down, because when they tear down these monuments and the way this country is going, what they are doing, they're tearing down their racist past. So remember a couple of years ago, I'm going to show you how this is going to connect together. Remember a couple of years ago in Houston, Texas, they had taken they had taken slavery out of the history books, and they called us immigrant workers. Immigrant workers from Africa. So now that they are tearing down all of their monuments, all the racist monuments, getting rid of all of their past, immigrant workers and us today is going to go together, because we allowed them to get rid of their racist past. So they are not going to talk about what happened, and we can teach our kids all we want. That's great. We are supposed to teach our kids. Well, what about the ones that are not teaching our kids? What about the ones who stuck on everybody is the same? People is just people. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. That's true.
That's why I say, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, I don't care how they feel about Robert E. Lee. That is their ancestor. So they are supposed to feel a way about their ancestor. Good. I'm glad you feel that way, because I want to know it's still in you. So you don't hide it no more. So the more you sit and you fight for it, I can see that it's still in you, because I want to be able to see my enemy. If you can't see your enemy, you could be SOL. If you don't believe me, ask the people that went to the Vietnam War. And they went out there in them jungle and didn't see them Vietnamese. Ask them what happened. I get it, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's deep. That's so true. And the thing is that, you know, again, you know, they you know, when you're dealing with white folks, they never really see, you know, they don't understand why we're so angry, why we're so mad, and because there's no closure. There's no closure. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Look what happened into World War II when they bombed Hiroshima, right? Now, Hiroshima is just a city. Those people didn't really have nothing to do with the war. You know, they just living their life or whatever. That wasn't the battleground. But they put the bomb, they put the atomic bomb, the atom bomb over there, created all this devastation, killed a lot of innocent people who had nothing to do with the war. So not only America apologized, but they compensate them and they rebuild Japan. Now, every group of people who has been oppressed, been compensated. We just get an apology. Didn't Bill Clinton apologize? We didn't get nothing. I don't know if Barack Obama apologized. We didn't get nothing. All this apology, but no compensation. No compensation. But then we supposed to stay, you know, we supposed to stay quiet and stay humble, or we supposed to be content. We supposed to forgive. we supposed to just say, okay, it just happened in the past, and you can't complain no more. I mean, even then, when Bill Clinton apologized, we supposed to have been, that should have been good enough. Just like the guy that you interviewed, Brother Bakari, he said, it's just that's as only good as going to get. We here. That's it. We ain't giving you no riches. We ain't giving you things that we took from you. Just like that. And then the bastard almost got an attitude. So we have to judge them as a collective. They are as a collective. Just like the I'm a Star Trek. I like Star Trek. I like science fiction. And there's this group called the Borg. Now you see that ever since Star Trek Generation, Deep Space Nine, and the Voyager, you're gonna see this collective, these what they call the collective cyborgs called the Borg, and they operate as a collective. They all sound as one. They all fight together, and we have to and see, these shows are letting you know that, hey, these people run as a group. We the only race that we always, when we say, look, we got to stick together, blah blah blah, then you always gonna have some coons gonna be like, oh no, we can't think like that, and then we gotta look at him like at the enemy. You're a traitor because we're not even in the race because we're so busy fighting each other.
Yep, and that's what they have us. Can I say this right quick?
Yeah.
When we named the people that got compensated, I was reading in the chat, and it was something Maurice put in the chat, and that's what I always say. We're gonna have to take what ours. We're gonna have to take what belongs. What are we willing to do that gets what ours? Because I'm gonna show you something. I don't talk about them giving us reparations. And I'm going to tell you why. You say they gave Japanese compensation after World War II, right?
Right.
Japanese had to give up their military. They gave something to the Native Americans. Look at them. Everybody they gave something to, they control. He who feeds you controls you. Mm-hmm. So what are you willing to do? Are you willing to lose blood and take blood? Or better yet, lose a life and take a life to get what ours. And I'm just going to be honest with you. That's what it has come to. Because if somebody give you something, they can easily take it away.
That's true. Malcolm X said the same thing.
If you don't believe me, look what they did to the Indians out there in South Dakota. You remember when everybody was talking about, I'm going to stand with Standing Rock.
Right.
They found something on that reservation that they wanted, and they got it. Because see, if somebody give you something, you ain't going to fight as hard to keep it because it was given to you, because they'll make you another promise. It's something that you take, it's going to be yours, and you'll put your life on the line to protect it. You're going to put your life on the line to take it, and you're going to put your life on the line to protect it. So as far as me saying them giving me reparations, I'm not saying black people don't deserve reparations, but I'm up to the point where I'm saying I ain't asking them for nothing no more. I'm not asking them for a goddamn thing. They didn't ask for this land. They didn't ask us to be slaves. They came and took it.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So when they give you something, you'll see how they control you. Once again, look and see what the Japanese military can do. It can't fight out of Japan. The whole military can only guard Japan. They consider a military can only guard Japan.
Wow.
Look how long China was controlled. Just look at it. They haven't given black people anything because in their mind, to think like them, and I'm going to be honest, is a warrior mindset. If I give them something to build themselves up, they're going to come get revenge.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I hear that all the time. Yep.
So the goal is, do we want reparations? Do we want revenge? Do we want to be out this system? I just want to know, do you want revenge? You're damn right you want revenge.
Mm-hmm.
You're damn right. You damn right. Some of them got to go because the same thing is still happening today. When the George Floyd riots happened, within 2 weeks after that, 6 black people found hanging dead from a damn tree. 6.
Wow.
But we still trying to reach their moral side.
Mm-hmm.
We're still trying to find some morality in these people. We still want these people to see us as human. They don't.
Mm-hmm.
Anything they give, they can take. Anything
Right.
written down, like when people say we need laws to be protected. They write some on the law, they can take that piece of paper and tear it up, or they can erase it. How about us stop saying they need to give us laws to protect us and say, you know what? One of our laws is we gonna protect us.
I agree. I think it has to come to that point. We got to create our own laws, and it's either America's going to bow down or lay down. That's just how it is. I agree.
Yep. And Obama said, by the way, my reason when I proposed was he said Obama didn't apologize. He said this country really don't owe us an apology.
Oh.
Never apologized. Never. But see, we are the people, we forgive people that never ask for forgiveness. We forgive people that never even apologize. Remember about the John family in that courthouse with that white woman? Remember that?
Yeah. Yep.
Huh?
Yep.
What about when that bastard down there in South Carolina walked in that church, 10 people, he killed 9, let one kill 9, let one live, so she can tell people who did it. Those people, what they do, apologize. When they were talking to him, he said if he had an opportunity to do it again, he'll do it again. But guess what? We forgive. And then we turn around and say, well, you're not supposed to hate. You're supposed to love everybody. That's why I like my boy Black Jesus Ministry, because I get down with Ecclesiastes 3, because it tells you it's a time to hate. That's why we don't fight back, because we so loving and we want to love them. So you can't fight people back that you love so damn much. That's why everybody's allowed to come into the neighborhoods in which we live and control it. Everybody.
That's right.
2020, we still complaining about white supremacy.
Ain't that
Go to a black neighborhood and tell me how many white people you see. You see Oriental supremacy. You see Arab supremacy. East Indian supremacy. And it's according to where you live in the United States, you see Hispanic supremacy, because they can come in a job and our people start hiring them to mow lawns. Our people start hiring them to get trash. Our people start hiring them to pressure wash houses. It's black people versus everybody.
Yep.
It's black people, and this is worldwide. Black people versus everybody.
Versus everybody. Yep. Facts. Facts.
Everybody. I hear the mic.
Definitely. You spoke a lot of truth, a lot of wisdom. I want to say this. I want to give a shout out to my girl, Omega Courtney. Thanks for joining me. One day I'm gonna have you on my live. I think you're probably doing a show, but I want to thank you, Bakari. I would like for you to subscribe to this sister. She's a good sister. Omega Courtney, subscribe to Brother Bakari, so we could definitely build. Brother Bakari I was telling you about her. We knew each other for 10 years, over 10 years actually, and we had our first debate, Brother Bakari. We had our first. I think that was my first debate. It was a little, it was over. What's her name? What was that girl who married? She was with Andre 3000. What's her name?
Erykah Badu.
Yeah. And it was about marriage and her having all these children and all that sort of stuff. So that we had our own little debate, but then we stopped talking for a long time. And then, I was going through my old messages and I was like, oh shoot, and then she had a new look to her, this and that. So I reached out to her, went to her Facebook page and said, yo, remember me, this and that. So, she was just like, oh, we need to build a team, blah, blah, blah. So she's a good sister. You will like her. Describes her channel. She's trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. I'm trying to help her because we're trying to build each other channels up because, she likes what we're saying. She's for it. And I'm going to tell her to subscribe to your channel. So Omega, if you're watching, subscribe to my brother Bakari's channel. And so we can build. Want to say peace to, just want to give Hotep to Tommy. Want to give definitely a Hotep to Brother Maurice. Thanks for joining. Quadon 7, thanks for joining. I'm glad y'all tune in. So I want to talk about, the big topic is Kamala Harris, right? That's the big topic. And, there's a lot of going back and forth. Black people kept saying, oh, she's black, this, that, because her father is this and this and this. Now, her father never said he was black. Her father was, last time I checked, he said that he was East Indian descent with some European in him or whatever. And he said his ancestors had owned a plantation in Jamaica, right? So I want to show the people that you just can't go by someone's looks. So even when I said on social media, I said, look, I hope you black folks don't make that same mistake with Barack Obama because you thought he looked black. You went along the hokey doke. Some of us, I know the RBGs, we are on board with this, but you got some of them that just looking for a quick, what you might call, brother, a come up. You got a lot of our people looking for a quick come up, so they'll go with the flow, right? And then it doesn't matter how much proof and evidence that you show these people, they still wants to put themselves in a dependent state. So I'm gonna screen share some things because it's really disturbing how people just don't get it. Some of our people just don't get it. They won't never learn. So let me screen share this. And I would definitely want to hear your thoughts, what I'm about to show. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Now, this is Kamala Harris and her family. Now, I don't know I don't know if this is her mother or father. I'm assuming that I don't know if it's her grandparents or her parents. But as you can see, she's East Indian. You can see the dot on their heads and stuff like that. You see the East Indian garbs. She is East Indian. So why is the media trying to camouflage her as an African? She's not African. Okay. So she's not, and I mean, you definitely see the Indian blood, the red blood in these people, right? So again, black people always they're looking for someone they can, I'm going to still vote. Oh my God, we the first African American as vice president. And it clearly shows that she's not African American, and remind you, this is the same woman that locked a lot of black people up. She was a prosecutor during the time Joe Biden created the laws, created the crime bill that locked black people. She was a prosecutor at that time and locked a lot of black people up just for a blunt. She's known of locking black people up. So we cannot fall into the same trick And how, you know, of course, you got the white liberals, they trying to pump her up and try to say, oh, she's one of y'all. She's not ours, she's one of y'all. Go, you should vote. Vote Democrat. And I'm going to play your video when reparations came up. Again, she ignored it. And she's going to talk about some damn stupid ass act, like you said, brother, that's something that they could easily take away. Called the Uplift Act or some stupid shit. So she's not an African American. She's not an African American or African descendant or whatever you want to call her. She's not black. Okay, so we need to stop that. We need to stop the fuckery. So I want people to understand. You know, don't fall for the trick. Don't fall for the trick. This is her husband. Wait a minute, but she's black. Well, if she's black, if she's supposed to be one of this, her husband won't be looking like that. Okay? But that's her husband. That's her husband. So we got to stop looking at, we got to stop living off of fantasies. Most of our people like to live on fantasy and what you call idealism, right? That she could pass for something and black people will feel comfortable because she looks like one of us. She could pass for one of us. And see, that's what you call infiltration to destroy who we are as a people. You know, so to really put us down. Now, she gets in office and Biden gets in office, ain't nothing going to change. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. This woman do not love black folks. Now, I want people to understand that before they go in and run and vote and, oh, Joe Biden, he got a black woman. She's not black. She's not black. And she's not one of us, because if she was one of us, she wouldn't have a white husband. And she got somebody that almost looked like her father. So now this is supposed to be her birth certificate. This is supposed to be her birth certificate. Now, this is her birth certificate. Her mother, who was her birthplace, if you look down here, let me see if I can blow this up. If you look down here, she said this is her mother, right? Goopalane or whatever. She was 26 when she had Kamala Harris, right? Her birthplace is India, right? But she put down Caucasian as her race. Okay? She put down Caucasian as her race. Her father's Donald Jasper. He was born in Jamaica. Now, let me say this. You have different cultures. I've been to Jamaica. You have Asians that live in Jamaica. You have East Indians that live in Jamaica. And you also have African people that live in Jamaica. You also have Europeans that live in Jamaica. Jamaica is not a race. Being Jamaica is not a race. It's like saying an American. American is not a race. Okay? Being a Christian is not a race. Muslim is not a race. A Moor is not a race. Being Jewish is not a race. But as you can see, he put down as color and race, he put down Jamaican. Now, I don't know if the man is stupid or dumb. I don't know. But where you're born has nothing to do of your race. But as you can clearly see, he's not black. So this is his birth certificate that people that came out. They came out. Okay. So I want to show that real quick. Let's see if I can. Okay. So, Brother Bakari, what as far as what I've shown, what is your take on what I've shown so far?
Oh, her being black, I never thought she was black. And this is my thing for me. I'm going to explain to you. I don't call mixed race people black. It's actually an insult because it's amazing how black people will ask a person, dismiss one of your parents so you can say you're us.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what they're doing. But other than that, even if she was black, she ain't done shit for black folks. She ain't cared about no black folks. Look, man, this shit is all a game. Go back and look and see. Go back and look and see when she first started getting in politics. What, that was the 90s?
Yes.
Go look and see who was donating to her campaign.
Mm.
Go look and see who she was. Go look and see who she was cool with. Donald Trump. Now look and see. She have said things about Joe Biden. She have said things about Joe Biden's sexual misconduct, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you will let all that go so you can be vice president. Maybe you want to get filled up in the Oval Office. Shit, I don't know. But do you understand what I'm saying? It's all a game. Excuse me. And our people will ignore it.
Yes.
Even though it should not be ignored.
And the evidence is there. The evidence is there.
Yep. The game hasn't changed. Just the players in the game. And we just need to stop for a minute. Stop being so loyal to the Democratic Party. We are more loyal to anything we do, anything we choose. We are more loyal to that than we are to our own race. Like I had people tell me, well, she went to Howard University. So did Rachel Dolezal, man.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go to HBCU now, go to a HBCU campus before the pandemic. Now, after the pandemic, watch, you're gonna see non-black people walking around an HBCU campus.
That's right.
So if you're gonna say she's black because she went to an HBCU, is Shaquille O'Neal white because he went to a white college?
Mm.
We can't make everybody just be black.
Right.
Stop doing that.
I hate that.
Accept them for what they are. And she's she's bigoted, and I'm not thinking about her. She would not get my vote. I ask people, tell me a reason why I don't mention nobody else, why I should vote for Joe Biden, Kamala Harris ticket, other than Donald Trump is a racist, or other than we have to get rid of Trump. Stop using fear tactics on black people. Yeah. Notice they try to use fear tactics on black people, talking about Donald Trump is the reason all these racists out here. Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that. I say, well, I'm not afraid. So you can't use that fear tactic on me about the racists and about what they are going to do. Give me a reason why we should continue to support people who don't even mention you. You are loyal to them. Loyal to them, right? But they want to do DACA, the Dream Act. They want these illegal immigrants to be legal. So then the Democrats get mad because Donald Trump had ICE getting people, right? Mm-hmm. But let me show you, watch this, right? With me being from Mississippi, right? Let me show you something. I don't know if y'all remember, but it made the news when ICE went and raided this factory down in Mississippi. I want to say it was a chicken plant down in Mississippi, right? Mm-hmm. 500 illegal immigrants working there. Mm. Deported all of them. After that, 350 black people ended up with jobs. So how are we as black people that say we love black people gonna complain because the illegal immigrants is gone and now your people is working? We allow anybody to come take our place. We will allow anybody to come take our place. But Kamala Harris ain't gonna take no black woman place if I have anything to do with it. She's not black. We need to stop calling her black. We need to, you understand, there's a lot of people we need to stop calling black. But right now, the focus is her. She's not black. She is not black. She's an Indian woman.
Yes, right.
And if you notice, when she became attorney general, district attorney, or whatever, attorney general, I think she was, California, out there, San Francisco, right?
Mm-hmm.
She says she was the first Indian woman ever to accomplish this.
Yes.
She was the first Indian woman.
Yep.
She had never been African American until she decided to run for president.
Yep.
People play on our emotions because they know that we are an emotional people, and our emotions get us so high. We'll get so high on emotions, we'll just choose not to read and study about the people that we supposed to vote for. She's a Democrat and she's black. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. Relax. Relax. And this is the problem. We will listen to anybody except one another. And I'm going to show you how it is. We need to vote. We got to vote bullshit that our people do that piss me off. They'll say we got to vote, right? They really don't mean you got to vote. What they mean is you got to vote Democrat. Because when you tell them you're not voting Democrat, watch how mad they get.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
Watch how mad they get.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to vote? Respect who I decide to vote for. Then
right.
You should respect that. Don't disrespect who I say I'm going to vote if I vote. Just because we voting for somebody different. Black people ain't going for the Democrat bullshit no more. We're just not.
No. And I mean, they're very blunt about it now. Very blunt about it.
You are correct. They are very blunt. I hear the mic.
I want to show you this another screen share about Kamala Harris. And she did a photo op with the hot sauce trick again. And remember Hillary Clinton talking about, she was on Charlemagne talking about, I carry hot sauce. See, and I wish black folks need to get out this ghetto mentality. Stop that. Stop thinking that every black people eat fried chicken and all this type of ghetto crap, and we carry hot sauce and all the other stuff. And see what happens because of the stereotype. This is how white folks think that I can get their votes by being ghetto or acting like them, being ghetto trash. So she do a photo op. Kamala Harris tried to do the same thing by putting hot sauce on her food. So I'm going to show the people about that. Let me show the people. And it's very insulting. Very insulting. And I wish, we need to wake up and we need to call it out for what it is. Let me screen it. I don't know if you've seen this, brother, but let me screen share this. It's very insulting. You see this? Now she did a photo op to show that, hey, I put hot sauce on my food. Now, that's insulting. Because not every black people, or don't put hot sauce in their food. I don't know what that stereotype even came from. I know that, my mother, she told me, she said sometimes people put hot sauce on their chitlins, during the South because to kill the smell or something like that. That's what I was told. I could be wrong. But again, this is another insult from these Democrat liberals to try to get our votes. So they're going to keep insulting us and keep humiliating us. This is not funny. This is not even when Hillary Clinton when Charlemagne was like, you trying to get the votes from black people, and she's gonna say, yeah. Hillary Clinton said, yeah. Is it working? Now this is the same woman that gave a great speech of the KKK guy. What's his name? The senator from Virginia. What's his name? Ricard.
Robert Byrd.
Yes, Robert Byrd. She gave a great speech of that KKK monster, calling him, he's he's my mentor. And we already know when somebody's your mentor, that means you learn their dirty ways. That means you've been very trained. So we can't keep falling for the same trick, the same insults. We're not naturally ghetto. We wasn't born ghetto. That we was in that. Of course, we're in an environment with all this degeneracy, but they take things like that and they try to make say, oh, that's what all black people into. All black people into fried chicken. All black people like put hot sauce on everything. This is an insult, and this is the best thing she can do to try to get our votes. Man, fuck her, man. You know, I'm tired of this. I'm tired. And I tell our people we need to wake up. When are you going to learn? When are you going to learn? I'm going to play you a video, Brother Bakari, when she talks about reparation, when the reparation was asked. And I want you to tell me your thoughts about her comment. So let me screen share this real quick. Let me get out of here. Okay, here we go.
Support black people. Well, listen.
Let me run. I'm sorry.
Do you support reparations for black people? Well, listen. Again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination and segregation. And
now, you know, let me stop this real quick, Brother Bakari. This is what burns me up. It's a yes or no question. Sometimes it makes me angry. I gotta laugh. It's a yes and no question. Anytime when people beat around the bush, she's already letting you know she's not for it. This is a sign right there. The question was asked, are you for reparation for black people in the United States? Let me play this again because I want people to understand what's going on here.
Do you support reparations for black people? Well, listen. Again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination and segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the LIFT Act, a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit black children, black families, black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this: any policy that will benefit black people will benefit all society. Let's be clear about that.
Oh my God.
Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people.
What?
Because whatever benefits that black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country. Right?
Okay, Brother Bakari, your comment?
Look, man, she ain't gonna do nothing that gonna benefit black people. She trying to do something that benefit all of society. Black people's okay with that. That's stupid to me. It's amazing how everybody else can get benefit, and black people figure out a way to say, well, they need. What about us? What about us? But see, I'm gonna tell you something. The person that was doing the interview as well, right? When you ask, are you gonna support? When you ask if you gonna support reparations, and she give that answer, the lady should have said, well, y'all gave to the Native Americans and it only benefited them.
Right.
You give to Israel all the time and it only benefits them.
Mm-hmm.
So why when it comes to black people, everybody have to be benefited from what we get? And you know what? Watch this. Whenever something is for everybody, it ain't for black people. A couple black people gonna get some crumbs that fall off the table. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. But you know what's sadder than that to me is a lot of black people that is okay with that.
I know.
Because we don't think we have been beat down so bad, we don't think we deserve a thing. We don't think we deserve shit. We don't think we deserve a goddamn thing. We have been beat down so bad. We don't think we deserve nothing. We almost see ourselves the way the rest of the world see us.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sad thing about it. We still live by slave codes, damn near. Well, you know that one drop rule make you black.
That's true. You're right about that.
Somebody, I say, read it. See why the one drop rule was created. Because if you study the one drop rule, and you'll see people that was born came out mixed. Special. They came from a white woman. Guess what? The child was born free. They were born free. One drop rule was so they could get more slaves. That's why it was created. Mulattoes were free. They wouldn't consider us, and they didn't consider themselves us. But we just fall for whatever they say. So this is my thing. If everything, and this is what I say, and sometimes you have to go to harsh things, right?
Mm-hmm.
To prove your point. If we're gonna do and say about us, if we're gonna do and say everything that they do and say, right?
Right.
So we must be monkeys and gorillas because that's what they called us.
Mm-hmm.
We're not human. We came from monkeys.
Right. Right.
We ain't never done nothing, obviously, because that's what they said. If everything they say is right, we need to stop complaining.
Mm-hmm.
About the things that y'all feel hurt your feelings. Everything they say is not right. We have to start making our own rule. We have to start defining the things that we want, the things that we are going to fight for. We have to define. We know who we are. It's time. It's 2020. They can't continue to tell us this nonsense.
Yeah.
If someone to sit there and say, trust me, if anything that's going to benefit black people, it's going to benefit all.
Mm-hmm.
All of society. Okay. Yeah. Hope you get all of society votes. Hope you get all of their votes because you'll get none of our votes.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. She's going to push this uplift act. You know what? An act is only a temporary. Number one, it's a handout. That's number one. We don't want handouts. An act is something that's temporarily. It's not a law. It's an act. That's something that's temporarily. Just like the Voting Rights Act. This is the reason why they have to renew it every 25 years.
Yes.
It's an act. It's not permanent. And I wish our people understand that we're still being treated like second-class citizens, even though we built the country and all this other stuff. And at some point, we have to say enough is enough. We're gonna create our own government, whether you like it or not. We're not gonna wave your flag. We're not gonna sing your national anthem. That was, by the way, that Francis Key, who wrote the damn thing, who was a slave owner. I bet you they won't get rid of that. I bet you they won't do the national anthem. So again, but you're gonna have a lot of our people. They're looking for a quick come up. They want to be comfortable. They want to be comfortable. They want to be comfortable in their state. But go ahead, bro. I'm sorry to cut you out. I just want to throw that in there.
No, bro, you good. Shit, I agree with you. There's a lot of stuff that we need to get rid of. There's a lot of stuff that we just have to stop accepting. And we can't just accept people and we're going to vote for you because you're a Democrat. No. What's your plan for us? What's your plan for us? I don't want to hear about the country because we the people that have been left out of everything in this country. I understand we were not supposed to be part of this country. We were brought here as slaves. I understand that. I understand. I tell people we are not citizens of the country. I truly believe we're just legal residents because you find other citizens get treated the way black people are treated.
That's true too. You're right. It's so true.
People don't treat their own like that. You understand?
You're right. That's right. That's a damn good point.
I'm just saying. So it's not about them no more. It's about us. We have to come with solutions. We have to come with solutions. Solutions.
That's right. And like you said, brother, and I like what you said before, we got to continue coming up with new strategies. You know, the marching and protesting, that's, you know, of course, you got black people who don't want to fight, that, you know, they made it into a culture. That's not a culture. That's supposed to have been a strategy. And I think you hit it right on the button before. You know, we're supposed to have strategies, come up with new strategies so we could gain independence. All our ancestors was doing was fighting for their freedom. They didn't give a damn about voting and all that. They wanted to be free. They wanted independent. They want to be independent. They want to get away from you know, look, we will never grow being around our enemy. We will never grow. We were always going to be, like you said, we're always going to be dependent on other races of people. We're going to be dependent on them feeding us, clothing us, all this other stuff. We can never do for self. And then we got to stop beating each other down when somebody decide they want to get out of that nonsense. We got to stop beating each other down. And I see that a lot of bickering on social media. And it's black people say, oh, you still want Trump in office? Well, you know what? Trump is a better choice. Trump is a better choice. Because at least I know I can deal with him. Then somebody smiling in my face and calling me a friend. Instead, at the same time, they putting a knife in my back. So we gotta stop. We gotta wake up. We gotta wake up. I want to show something else. I want to show something. This is another nonsense that we gotta stop doing. Let me screen share this. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna screen share this. This is something that we gotta stop doing too. Oh shoot, I'm sorry. Remember this, Brother Bakari?
Yeah.
You seen that picture before? Now, now, you know, why is it that when is she part of this? Is like the new, what is the new black? This is the new Black Panther Party.
Yeah, supposed to be. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the new Black Panther Party. These are supposed to be pro-blacks, and I don't know what's that hand for. I hope that's not a Roman. But you know, usually that you know, I know the Germans used to go like that. But the Germans got that from Rome. The Roman soldiers, they used to go like that. But you know what disgusts me is that we gotta stop saying that we want justice and all this other stuff, But then you still want to try to make your enemy your friend. You're still trying to hold hands with your enemy and all this other nonsense. Let me show you this picture. And this check out this woman, and look what she did. This is her. And she's supposed to be what? And she had that look like, you know, I'm still a revolutionary. This is not revolutionary. This is not revolutionary. You know, when and I asked this woman, when are you going to learn? When are you going to learn? When are you going to learn that these people are not your friend? You know? So you're gonna make your enemy feel comfortable instead of you making your enemy feel uncomfortable. You decide to make your enemy comfortable by putting your arm around him, holding hands with him, and you're supposed to be a revolutionary. This is it's and see these people, and she's not my people. She's not my people, because my people don't operate like that. I don't care. I don't give a damn if she's black. She's not my people. You talking about you fighting, you want justice and all this other stuff, but you still holding hands with them. How's that work? This is madness. This is madness. Look at this. Look at this. Look at these black people hugging the same people that's supposed to be killing them. And you say Black Lives Matter? Do you really value your life by hugging the same people that's hunting you down? This is nonsense. This is nonsense. This is nonsense. It's very insulting. We gotta stop playing games. And you know what? We gotta watch out for these black people. This is treason. In my opinion, this is treason. Because once again, you're making your enemy feel comfortable, and then you want to know why they're not afraid of you. You want to know why they're not afraid of you, and you think you could just, I'm just gonna keep buck dancing and I'm gonna hug them and kiss them on the mouth. I'm gonna do all this stuff. So hopefully, maybe one day they will change and not to put their knee on my neck again, not to put me in a chokehold again. These black people don't care. This woman who's supposed to be so pro-black, she don't care about her people. Now, to her, this is her ally. This is her ally. This is insulting. This is very insulting. I'm disgusted, and I'm telling you, black folks are going to learn the hard way. I guarantee you, people like her and these other coons, they're going to learn the hard way. And I'm not going to feel sorry for them just because they're black. If something, God forbid, something happens to them, count me out. See, I'm about tough love. I'm about tough love. Brother Bakari, what you got to say about this stuff, man?
I think that was crazy for her to go pose to that white policeman. I think that's absolutely crazy, you know. But hey, I don't know. I don't know what's on her mind. If you look at her face, it's like almost as if she was told. She looked uncomfortable. Look at her face. She looked uncomfortable taking that picture. But it's like she feel like it's something that she have to do. I don't know. I have no idea what it is. But me, I'm not taking a picture. I'm out there protesting with my guns because of something police is doing. Then I'm gonna turn around and pose with the police.
She shouldn't have done it. She should have stood her ground. Whoever told her, I don't care who it was that told her. If that was the case, then she should have stood her ground and said, "No, I'm not doing that." You know, we got to learn how to speak up. I don't care a goddamn who's your leader. then you maybe that organization is not for you.
Yep.
That's how I look at it.
Yep.
I mean, this is ridiculous. But our people going to learn the hard way.
Man, ain't no such thing. It can't get harder than what it is now. If they haven't learned, they ain't gonna learn, bro. They don't want to learn. They want to be accepted. We want to be comfortable in a system that wasn't designed for us. You're not trying to learn. We're trying to be comfortable with their knee on our neck, in all honesty, or we trying to be comfortable with their arm around our neck, choking us out. We trying to figure out a way to be comfortable amidst all of this trauma that we have gone through for all these years. And we still go through the trauma because we see the trauma on television. That was traumatizing to see that black man, you sat there with your knee on his neck. I can't breathe. It's traumatizing to see what happened to Eric Garner. He choking. I can't breathe. It's traumatizing to see what happened to Mike Brown. It's traumatizing to see what happened to Rayshard Book. It's traumatizing. You can go on YouTube, not YouTube. You can go on Google right now and you can see the images of black people hanging from the trees just 3 months ago. The shit is traumatizing. Right. So some people trying to figure out a way, how can I be comfortable amidst all of this trauma?
That's true.
How can I be comfortable amidst all this trauma so it don't happen to me? We still trying to teach it. You don't wear a hoodie. Wouldn't nobody else teaching their kids that you don't put a hoodie on. But look at that to tell black. It's not against the law to wear a hoodie.
No, it's not.
And I told him that when we was in the county council meeting here where I live, and we sitting in there. Well, I tell my children, tell my son, it's sad, but he's black. Don't wear a hoodie. I told the black lady, I said, call me. You ain't got to be scared. I said, there go my son. I said, put your hoodie on. We was in the meeting. I said, put your hood on your head. Put your hood on. I put my hood on. And I say, I'm not breaking no damn law. And I wish someone would try to shoot me because I have a fucking, we in the meeting, the mayor, the cops, the county sheriffs, all of them. I say, I wish someone would try to fucking shoot me because I have a hoodie on, because I'm going to shoot back. Right. It ain't a law to put on a hoodie. Stop telling black people to tell their kids not to wear a hoodie. Don't have your hand in your pocket when you go in the store. It's cold outside. If I can't put my hands in my pocket when I walk in this store, don't go in the damn store. How in the hell we just let people treat us like this? But then I'm the person that the black folks had problems with when I spoke. I'm the one they got away from. I'm the one they got away from. But I'm not going to tell my son, don't wear, I'm son and my daughter, don't put a hoodie on. Don't put your hands in your pocket. You outside and it's cold and you going in that store and you just want to shove your hands in your pocket for some warmth. Don't put your hands in your pocket. Is it against the law to put my hands in my pocket? Show me where it's against the law.
Wow. I mean, I think, and see, that's the psychological trick where they trying to take away rights, little things like that. You know, don't put your hand in your pocket. Don't wear no hoodies. You know, that's another form of the Jim Crow all over again. You know, first we couldn't, you know, our people couldn't sit anywhere on the bus and sit anywhere in restaurants and all that other stuff. Different water fountain, and then you see it all over again. But the difference is that we're telling our kids, oh, don't wear no hoodie, keep your hands out, and all this other stuff. We're the one who putting our children and our youth into this bondage. Instead of saying, hey, you know what? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. No cop should not tell you, you know, nobody's gonna control us like that. We are not going back into that time no more. You know. But you got a lot of scared black folks out here, just scared. They scared. They willing to take anything and do anything. So because they just don't want to. They don't want no responsibility. Everybody got a responsibility to do, whether you like it or not. You know. So
yep.
You know, it just really bothers me. Where we're doing the job for them, telling our kids, oh, don't do this. You can't, you know, just make sure you and because you know these cops, and I'm like, bro, how is it that every other every other ethnic group can go and play and do whatever they want, but we still got to be in there, but we got to have rules? Nah, man. Nah, man. That's that. No, that ain't gonna fly with me. They're not gonna fly with me. I'm gonna, you know, Brother Bakar, I want to show you something. Excuse me. That relate to my cousin, and his name is Larry Pretlow. Excuse me. His name is Larry Pretlow. I want to tell the audience that me and him, we had a little discourse. And he used to be a little rapper, local rapper in DC, I think DC or Maryland or whatever. And that didn't really work out for him. So he decided to be in politics. Working in the board of ed or whatever the case is. And I'm going to show you a video. Now, with me and him, we was on Facebook, and I guess he disagreed with me was based on race. And, because he's trying to be a politician, race is out the question. And we already know how that works. So I'm going to show you a video of him participating into this, I think it's not a march, but it's more like a parade. He's in a parade, in the July 4th parade, and he's shaking hands with all these white folks. Kind of remind me of the coonish dude with the Confederate flag. Just like my cousin has the American flag. But then I'm going to show you another video where he argued with this white woman, and guess what? He brings up race. So I'm like, well, you told me it wasn't about race. So I'm going to show you this video. I want your take on it. Now, this is my cousin. Because I would love to debate him. And I want people to see this. Now watch. This is my cousin. And he got the American flag. And remind you, Brother Bakar, he's celebrating July 4th. This is the same July 4th where our ancestors were enslaved, right? And he's celebrating this. And as you can see, while he's marching, he's shaking hands with all these he got white friends. Right? Got the American flag. He's an American. So let me continue this. Yes. All those white folks. He's all American. No black people around. Let me fast forward this a little bit. Now those are his kids. Those are his kids right there. But as you can see, I just want to just give you a little quick on that. Now you see him again. So I want to show that real quick. again, what to him during that time, it wasn't about race, right? Now, I'm going to show you this video where all of a sudden he becomes the victim now of racism. Let me show you this video. This is the last screen share I'm going to show. I thought this was kind of funny, and to me. Now I want people to hear this because this is crazy.
Okay, do we have any residents online who would like to make remarks? Okay, I have one so far. Any others?
Looks like there are 3, if you look at the chat.
Oh, I'm only seeing one.
I just see one.
Oh, maybe the same person did it 3 times.
Yeah, it was earlier before we started.
Okay.
Yeah, also make sure if you do the chat that you're sending it to everyone. If you want to send it to everyone, sometimes it'll automatically send to a person, which is kind of annoying.
Okay, so we have Lena Kennedy. You have 3 minutes.
Watch this.
Wait a minute, it's not on. Oh, there we go. Okay, you're unmuted.
All right, can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you guys for offering this opportunity to speak. I'm going to be emailing this letter to you, everyone, later today. So if you didn't catch it all, you'll see it in the email. But I wanted to say that to the members of the Oakland Mills Village Board and other interested parties, it is with deep sadness that I write to you today in response to another incident of intimidation in Oakland Mills.
Now here's a white woman, and she's complaining about my cousin. Okay, now according to him, it's not about race. It's not about race. He saw him shaking hands with all these white folks. It's not about race. So why did he bring up race when once this white woman accused him of what he did? Hotep Erica, how you doing? Glad you came on board. So listen what this white woman says. Listen what she's complaining. Now this white woman's complaining, and she's accusing my cousin of some wrongdoing.
If you have seen, Village Board member Larry Pratlow on Wednesday last week sent me a cease and desist letter, making several false allegations about me and threatening legal action. This is not the first time Mr. Pratlow has come after me. Indeed, among other things,
look at his face.
Campaign page ran an open letter to me, a private citizen, as a paid advertisement last fall. Additionally, Mr. Pratlow also recently sent similar letters to the one I received to a private citizen and a member of the Village Board. I will not get into a back and forth with Mr. Pratlow. Not because I can't defend myself against his baseless allegations and attacks, but because to respond to his specific points is to further enable this kind of threatening and intimidating behavior. It has been enabled in our community long enough. It has been enabled by cynical actions of some and by the silence of others. But regardless of which side of that spectrum you fall on, we are all suffering because of it. There are people in our neighborhood who are afraid to attend Village Board meetings because of threats and bullying.
Uh-oh.
Some are also concerned.
Here comes the white girl victim cry.
And the possibility of having to hire an attorney to respond to these absurd
They always do that.
This situation has exposed a chronic leadership failure. Our community dialogue and our Village Board proceedings have grown so caustic that reasonable people are abandoning the necessary work of community building at a time and in a place where we need as many people involved as possible. And what of the reasonable among us involved? The silence in response to Mr. Pratlow's writing is perhaps the greatest indictment of the current state of affairs in our village. Mr. Pratlow and those who both support and encourage his behavior are not champions for our community. They are harming our community. Whatever progress they hope to achieve is undermined by their refusal to hold themselves accountable for their own behavior, instead choosing to shout and point fingers at others. As I have said before, Oakland Mills deserves better. No one in our community.
She said, my cousin, Larry Pretlow, that's my cousin right here. He said he's harming the community. But wait a minute, Larry, you said it's not about race. Now you have you shaking hands with all these white folks during the July 4th, and you know better. You know better. You know better that to be celebrating that July 4th, knowing our people were suffering in this country. But you're trying to get votes from the wrong people. And now the same people that you making friends with turned on your punk ass.
Should be intimidated to come to a village board meeting or threatened because they share their personal experience with others. Nor do those who feel threatened and intimidated deserve our silence, because when we stand aside as others are threatened and bullied and intimidated, we allow it to continue. Again, we deserve better. Please do better. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I respond?
Now watch this. Watch him out. Watch.
Because what we cannot do is talk about me and allow this to be a platform for me to be attacked. This is unfortunate. What we see happening is clearly there's this person has some kind of race problem.
Oh, so now this person has a race problem, but he told me this. Well, he told me this is my cousin now. Now all of a sudden you want to bring up race. Now this white woman has a race problem now. That's interesting. Exactly. But my cousin, that's my cousin Larry who's talking. He told me that it wasn't about race. And I don't know if you saw the video, Erica, but he's out there on July 4th, knowing that our ancestors were suffering in this country. I don't even want to. I know. We had a discourse because I told him, look, everything that we do has everything to do with politics and race. We have a race issue in this country. Now all of a sudden he wants to bring up race, but you was in a parade shaking all those white people's hands, carrying the American flag. You didn't even want to be called African. You called yourself an American. And now you have a problem. These are the same people that turning on you. And watch, and I'm gonna play it because I'd rather let y'all hear it for yourself. And one of the guys who's orchestrating it, he's cutting Larry off. He didn't even want Larry, and as you can see, these are all his friends. Brother Bakari, these are all my cousin's friends. And look at them, they're all white. Right? And watch the guy gonna turn on Larry. See, this is what happens when you don't stick with your own. This is what happens when you don't stick with your own. Now, my cousin Larry got the wake-up call. Because you don't want to listen to Bit Cuz, because you think, oh, well, that's in your time. This is a new time. No, it's not. Nothing has changed. Now you sitting there complaining.
And it's more clear. Yeah, look up. I was surprised. It's more clear. And if you think this way about me, if you want to take me speaking on the experience that I had in my life, my personal growth, I wrote something on a Twitter account maybe about a couple of years ago now about what I have been through in my life, and writing about that was therapeutic for me to be a better person in my life. And as we saw recently, my ex-wife published a video message about whatever these accusations that people like Leland Kennedy are trying to peddle. They're false. I've never been charged of any crime. She says I've been convicted of 2 crimes. Lynn, one of my colleagues, also went on Facebook peddling these false allegations. But we're still being accused of using the Oakland Mills Community Association platform as peddling and springboarding a political career. But what you just witnessed was Lena Kennedy, because she has no other way of winning. She knows no other way to win but to large type of false attack on me. Yes, I did send you a cease and desist letter, and you're harassing me. And now you're using this form where myself, my colleagues, and our neighbors are coming to find out what the business is in our community. You're taking this as an opportunity to personally attack me. So everything that you just accused me of doing, you are the one who's actually doing it. You're doing it.
All right, thank you.
Now you see how you cut him off?
You allowed her, but you allowed her.
Now you see, he said, all right, that's enough. That's enough. Let me tell you something. You see how they worked collectively? Brother McCarty, don't you see how he took up for his own people? He didn't want to let my cousin talk. He said, all right, that's enough. That's enough. We're going to move on. So my cousin's like, no, you let her talk. But Lil Cuz got to understand, but though these are your friends. These are your friends. And he finally got the wake-up call. Of course they're not gonna let him talk. You know, they're not gonna let him talk. You know, they're not gonna let him talk. Why should they? Why should they let you talk, Cuz? You joined with them. You told me that it wasn't a race thing. And now they shitting on you. Now he's gonna get mad. No. You're gonna take that. No, you're gonna take that. Because when I try to warn you, you didn't want to join with me. You want to stick with these are your buddies.
To speak as long as you wanted.
That's right.
No, I cut her. I hit mute at 3 minutes.
But she said, but you cannot do that. And this is illegal. And for this to be allowed, this is illegal. You have a board member who really has some kind of problem with me because I'm a young black artistic man and nothing.
So wait a minute. He's using race thing, or because I'm young and black. Wait a minute. This is not. But you told me because it's not. He told me it has nothing to do with race. Why is my cousin Larry bringing up race? Because now you see what I was trying to tell you. This younger generation, he's not too far from me. I think he's in his 30s. But he thinking these people were his friends, and now he's getting to see he hasn't learned. But now he's starting to see the reality now. Of course, white folks going to take up for their people. They're not going to take up for black people. They're going to take up for their own. And yes, he did let this woman. He let his own people speak as long as he wanted. That's his people. Of course, he's going to do that. He don't owe Larry nothing. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. We don't even talk like that anyway. But if he wants to, I reached out to him. I said, yo, you need to come on my panel so we can address this. Okay. But this is the people that, and then I'm gonna play you the part when he says, I'm gonna play you the part when he turns around and said, well, he told that girl, that lady Kennedy was, I think that's her name. He said, you don't even come to my community. You don't even come to my community.
Others his children who is engaged in the community. I know it makes you uncomfortable. It makes you uncomfortable. I'm talking to you, Donovan. It makes you uncomfortable to hear this, but imagine how I feel being on the receiving end of this, right? Because I'm vocal and I say, redistricting our schools through the social economic status of families does not do anything for anyone. When Lena and her husband are the ones who were architects of the plan that purchased the Barone. And then they wanted to go and buy Columbia Point. And now you seem like you care about
Now you see, now look.
Yeah, but you
Now you see, I told you, they're not gonna let him talk. Now you see how this white man disrespect my cousin. He's not gonna let him talk. But according to my cousin, he said it has nothing to do with race. He hasn't learned anything. You don't want to get into the race thing, but these guys are disrespecting you on air. He let his own people talk as long as he want. And even he said it. He said, yo, you let her talk as long as she want. And he didn't, and I'm gonna be honest with you, my cousin didn't talk that long. And all of a sudden the white guy didn't want to hear it. All right, yeah, let's move on, blah, blah, blah. You know, my cousin, he fought. He was like, no, I'm gonna keep talking. I'm gonna keep talking because you let this woman talk. Now this is the second time he cut my cousin off.
But you allowed her to do this. And this is illegal. You allowed her to do this because this platform is not that. This was a political attack. She's running for public office, and she her racist remark to attack me. It would be different if it was someone else, but she's a candidate for office attacking me at a board meeting. While she is a candidate for office, that's illegal. And what you allowed, Mr. Chairman, was for the status of this jeopardized.
Okay, I got enough. Anything else
Oh, you see that? Yeah, Brother McCarr, you see that? Brother McCarr, you saw that?
Yep, they're doing what they're supposed to do, man. And all honesty, they're doing what they're supposed to do.
They're supposed to do what they're supposed to, but my cousin hasn't gotten it yet. He hasn't learned it. He's a fucking idiot. And I hate to say it, I know. I'm a little compassionate, but I just want to say that because I'm a little pissed off that my cousin told me. He gets mad at me. He disconnect me for them. And look how they shitting on him. And now he realized, oh shit, this is a race issue. They doing this because I'm black. This man cut him off 3 times.
And you notice the other black man sitting up there ain't said a word.
He's not getting into that fight. It's too many of them. It's too many of them. But this is what happens when you don't stick with your own. When you join in hands and locking arms and kissing with the enemy, this is what happens. You belong to them. My cousin still hasn't gotten it yet. But I'm going to play the part when he said, well, you know, told that woman, you don't even come to my community. You don't even come and visit and be active. He says this. And he used race again.
I did. Jonathan,
Oh,
you hear me?
Oh, by the way, this woman right here, she's going to get into the action. She's going to be like, don't cut me off. Don't cut me off. Because Larry, I think Larry said something and there's another white woman. She's right here. She's up here. I'm going to see if I can show you to her. She's right here. This one right here. She's talking up top. And she's getting on my cousin.
Yeah, the board is unmuted.
Now my cousin tight.
I would like to.
You like to start with an apology for being racist towards me, as towards people who look like me?
See now, he said, "Are you going to apologize for being racist towards me for people that looks like me?" This is what he said. Why should they have to apologize? You belong to them, Larry. But it's not about race. That's what you told your cousin, right?
Jonathan, can you hear me? Jonathan.
Yes, the board is unmuted. Everyone on the board is unmuted.
I would like to speak.
Lynn, you're unmuted.
Okay, so you can, what Lena brought up, actually, I think this is not something having to do with anything about you and your private life, Larry. And it's not exclusively, no, because you did the same thing to me.
Oh.
You did the same thing to me. You registered a complaint against me because all I can think of is because I questioned the vote of the village board.
Right.
And something that you didn't like the way I was proceeding. And suddenly I get something where you're filing a cease and desist thing against me.
Boy, see how they jumping on them? You see how they jumping on them? Oh.
You're asking, just do not interrupt me, please. Do not interrupt me, please.
I saw what she wrote about me on Facebook.
Do not interrupt me.
You better listen to your boss. You better listen to your boss, Larry.
Interrupt me. Do not interrupt me. Do not slander and harass me.
We cannot come to order. I'm adjourning the meeting.
Well, it's probably the best bet. Probably the best bet. This is an attack, and it's not fair. And what you're doing to me, I've never done to any of you. Even when we have disagreed, I've never done this to any of you. I have every right. Like, you feel like you are so high, mighty, and privileged, Lynn, to say how you feel. I have a right to say how I feel.
No, Larry. No, Larry. Cousin Larry. It doesn't work that way. You knew better, Larry. It doesn't work that way. And I want people to understand it doesn't work that way. When you disconnect with your people and you decide to join with your enemy, they have control over you. That's just how it is. You have no power. That's what happens. If you stuck with your own people, you would have been in a better place.
Who look like me, and you don't even come to events on this side of the community. You don't even come to events. One person came to the event here, and I was on CA rap.
You heard him? You heard what he said? He said you don't even come to the events with people that look like me. Let me play that again.
You don't even come to the events. One person came to the event
Hold on.
who looked like me. And you don't even come to events on this side. I've done this to any of you. I have every right. Like, you feel like you are so high, mighty, and privileged, Lynn, to say how you feel. I have a right to say how I feel. And I too represent people in this community who look like me. And you don't even come to events on this side of the community. You don't even come to events. One person came to the event here, and I was on CA rap. And they're attacking her too. And it makes no sense. Yelling, but you're not sitting here and accuse someone of something and say things about someone's personal life and record it. And I'm going to sit here and listen to you slander me and harass me. That's not how you go about doing this. It's not. If Lena has something to say, she could have put it in writing the same way I put it in writing what I said to her. If you don't come on a board meeting where you have someone from the council member's office here to talk about things in the community and attack me in residence remarks, you don't do that. I'm not a person that rates that likes to go around and claiming oppression and talking about how someone's doing something to people.
Wait, Larry. You just sit there and complain. Your brother Bahari, he just sitting there complaining, talking about he's feeling attacked.
Yes, he did.
And now he's talking about, I'm not the one going around complaining that I'm being oppressed. Well, why are you complaining? You just said that I'm being attacked. Watch this. I want people to hear this.
No, you don't do that. I'm not a person that rates that likes to go around and claiming oppression and talking about how someone's doing something because of color your skin. I'm not for that. But I am wise enough to know when it's happening. And Lynn, you have a problem, a serious problem, and it's sad. And I never called you pathetic, and I never threatened your husband or you. And I saw what you wrote about me on Facebook. I saw it. So you sit here and tell me to stop and let you talk. You have been talking. You've been writing and you've been slandering me. And no, you have.
We're going to stop. People are writing on their private Facebook pages. It's not the business of this board.
Exactly.
It's not appear on this boards.
Exactly.
If it did
But you allowed it.
On this board's Facebook group, and not on the Oakland Mills Village Facebook, there is no need for us to discuss Facebook in an Oakland Mills Village. Am I going to move on, or am I going to end this meeting?
You better move on.
Please move on, Jonathan.
I think it's time to move.
Oh, Brother McCarty, what do you think about that, bro? Oh, Brother McCarty, what do you think about that? Oh, shoot. Let me see. Oh, still on. Oh, okay. He stepped away. All right. Oh man, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. I just want to show the people that even my family, my cousin, who claimed that it wasn't about race, that wasn't about race. Even as you can see, he got the wake-up call. Right? Yeah, it's wrong. But he claimed these are his friends. Erica, he claimed that these are friends. But this, but if he would have just had his own committee and stick with his own people, he wouldn't have nothing to worry about. But he decided to make alliance with these people, and of course, just like wolves, they decided to turn on him. They decided to turn on him. And we got to understand, like, we live in a what you call this is a racial, this country was built on racism, and he tried to ignore it. He tried to make friends, try to make them their allies, and as you can see, their natural, their natural behavior came on. They turned up. They're not going to turn on each. Look, you notice that they never turned on each other. They gained it on him. They worked as a what? A collective. But when I played the video earlier, which you go back and play the video, the white guy's telling my brother, oh, you got to judge people individually. But as you can see, they wasn't working individually. They was working together to jump on one black man. And you can see my cousin, arguing with different, these different people. Yeah, you got to stick with your own. And that's what he should have done. He should have stuck with his own. He should have stuck with his own. But that's what happens when you try to be friends and you try to make allies and all this other stuff. And then when you by yourself, so I hope my cousin learned a lesson from that. I hope my cousin learned a big lesson from that. Because when he told me, oh, it had nothing to do, it's not a race problem. We don't have a race problem. But as you can see, he's sitting there saying, oh, I'm feeling attacked. But he turns around and say, well, I'm not the one, complaining about me being oppressed and all this other stuff. But you just sit there and complain about you being attacked. You can see he was very shocked because remember, Erica, you got to understand, that wasn't the focus. The focus was on something else, was to, I guess, talk about, I don't know what was the discussion was really supposed to be about, but of course, this lady named Kennedy, she the one who started complaining, and that's how that whole thing started. That wasn't even supposed to be the discussion. But see, he put himself in that situation. And let me tell you something. Some of our people don't want to be saved. We gotta be very clear. Some of our people just don't want to be saved. They don't want to be saved. They don't want no help. They think about making alliances with their enemy. They think they're going to be safe as long as they buck dance and buck their eyes, you know, tap dance on the table. That's what they okay with it. They all right. They think they're safe. You know, as long as they let the game play them, they think they're okay. So I want to just put that out there that I hope my cousin Larry, I hope he changed. I hope he realized that that's not going to be the only situation. And I know there was more. It was planned, of course. And you heard about that way when she did the crocodile tear routine. We got to be very careful about that. When white women cry, trust me and believe. Trust me and believe that's going to be a problem. And you see when that white woman cried, how they all came in to gang on my cousin. You saw the other white woman, yo, don't cut me off. Don't you cut me off. Like she did, like she treated him like a slave. Boy, you better not cut me off. You know? But that's what happens when you turn on family that's trying to save you. But you're gonna see him and you probably missed when he was walking and he's shaking hands with all the white folks on July 4th. Had the American flag. He was proud to be an American. Very proud. And by the way, he's a Democrat too. He's a Democrat. But I tried to bring him on my panel so we can have a discussion. I reached out to him. So let's see what happens. He might not. I don't give a shit. But he got the wake-up call. And like I said, like I named this program, When Will You Learn? We have a hard time. We hard-headed. But you know, like they say, a hard head make a soft ass. And as you can see, my cousin got the big wake-up call. He realized those not his friends. Those not his friends. And yes, Erica, I gotta post this again. It was planned. They set him up. They set him up. It was definitely a setup because he came in there. Because when he came in there, you know, he was all, you know, ready to talk about whatever they need to talk about, dealing with the education programs or whatever they were talking about. And boom, she set it off on him. And now all of a sudden he's like, his whole attitude changed. But according to he told me, it wasn't about race. But you're bringing up race now. Now you're feeling it because I know, because you definitely, when you in that situation, I know you get to feel it. You feel the that racist tension. You feel it. You feel it. So yeah, he had to fight and be like, no, you gave her, and the guy cut him off at least 3 or 4 times. Cut my cousin off. He didn't want to hear what he had to say. Because he looked at him as not important. He's not going to look at him like he looked at his people. It's like looking at a different if you look at the animal world, there's different species. The elephant is not going to treat the giraffe better than he's going to treat his own elephants. It's not going to happen. The tiger is not going to treat the lion better than he's going to treat his own. It's not going to happen. That's just common sense. That's nature. When we start getting into our natural state, then maybe we could be a better place. What my cousin should have did, he should have had his own people sitting up there, where he could be more in control and more in power. Okay, my brother's back. I'm sorry.
That was a hell of a way to learn a lesson.
Thank you.
That white woman, don't you cut me off.
Ain't that something? Oh my, woo! She talk, yeah. So what is your? Tell me your thoughts. Talk to me. What, as far as what you heard, like what is how? Tell me how you analyze that, man. Because I'm like, when I saw that, I was like, whoa, what happened?
He said they never come to his community, but he over there waving that flag in their community, just shaking hands.
Yep.
He's almost like H.K. Edgerton. Yeah. He done made it about race and everything. And he says not.
Yep.
Hell of a lesson, but our people got to learn it.
Well, I hope, and that's why I had to show it, because I hope they can learn from that. I hope they can learn what my cousin just went through. Okay, now he's my first cousin. That's my first cousin. I hope that people watch it and learn from it that these people are not your friends. They're gonna stick together as a collective. As you can see, Brother Bakari, they all joined in and ganging on my cousin.
And the other black dude ain't said nothing.
They ain't said nothing. Yep. Yep. They're all joined as a collective. So where's the individual? Remember I showed the first video when the white guy was telling the brother, oh, you gotta judge people individually. But as you can see, it was no individual thing. They claimed as a collective to jump on my cousin.
Yep.
Okay.
And that man quickly came to her defense when she made up that cry.
Thank you. Cut him off 4 times. If I believe it's 4 times, he cut my cousin off. Didn't even want to hear what he had to say.
Yep.
So I rest my mic on that. I hope my cousin watched this, and I hope he'll learn from it. And if he don't, then then I guess shoot. He's always gonna be their puppet. He's always gonna be their puppet. And when they say tell him to dance, he better dance.
Yeah.
So I want to close out. Brother Bakari, say your last statement. Tell the people where they can find you. And we out. And after that, we out of here.
I thank you, Brother Guy Nollywood Jr., for inviting me to your panel, inviting me to be a part of your show. It's a very good show. I thank the chat for listening. My name is Brother Bakari. And if you haven't heard of my channel, that's my name, Brother Bakari. You could go to my channel and subscribe. We do stuff like this all the time. Once again, my good brother, I thank you for inviting me. And one love to Brother Guy and one love to the chat.
Yeah, I want to say thanks to the chat. Thanks for Erica for joining us. Brother Bakari, subscribe to my girl Courtney. Omega, I'm gonna try to introduce. We're gonna try to do a Zoom where I'm gonna get you on board. And it's time to unite. It's time to get more people on board. We can get Erica Howard on board. We're gonna be a family again, man. I miss being a family, and we're gonna get our sisters on board now. It's time to get our sisters on board, and because that's the nation right there. We can't live without the black woman, and the black woman can't live without us. So Omega Courtney, she's a really good sister. Subscribe to her page, check out her videos. I'm gonna have her subscribe on your channel, because we're here to make our channel grow and become powerful, and to really send a good message. Because we're about the black family, we're about the African family. We're not about no transformers and all this. We're not about none of that stuff. Because the backbone was the power base is about the black families. And if you really do the history, they always took the black man out the homes, or our black sons out the homes, the lynching, locking them up, and they still doing this today. So we got to strengthen the black families again. So I want to say thanks to the chat for being active. And again, thanks you, Brother Bakari, for joining me on this panel. There's going to be more. It's definitely going to be more to this. So peace and love and African power.
Peace.